Alright, I'm just getting ready to finish packing this away. Here's my work table. I have my candle that I've been using to make sure that the edges are melted. And on each of the seams, I've also melted the edges so they don't fray where it's sewn. There's number 1. So that one goes in the very bottom left-hand corner. If we think of this like a grid, like an XY axis, 1, 2, 3, and it starts high and goes down, so you can see here. And this is how you can tell if it's working or not. The face is lined up, and there you can see where I made the mistake. Another thing I wanted to show you was all the different spools of fabric in the end, because I'm doing this with more than one spool, and hopefully when I'm done all of them and they're all installed, hopefully everybody will send me back a picture and I can show all the students the other art that the other kids have done with their fences. This is what the zip ties look like that I got from the Renault depot. They're about $3, so if, I don't know, I didn't provide you enough or someone spills them all over the schoolyard and something happens, I am including them at the top. I'm not putting them at the bottom, but I will put the extras in, and I'll make sure there's a few extras. And I just wanted to show you how to make sure that you are getting the zip ties in there properly. So I have my zip tie here. Now a zip tie goes up like this. So you put it in through like this. And then you can hear it as it's locking. And that won't come undone. Okay, so now I'm going to show you on the actual. So make sure that you've got it woven through all nice, that you've got your diagonal line that's on the outside and that's lined up nice and tidy so that it'll look pretty. But when we get to the last one, if you weave it and then go around the back, you can do it that way, or if you think it might look cleaner, you can skip the last one and go around. And you see how when I do this, I'm actually using a soldering iron, and I've been poking holes with, you see how it makes the holes, and so that's how I lined it up. If you need to change any of the holes, a grown-up will have to put new holes in, because the reason I do that is that the nylon melts, and when it does that, it creates a solid edge, and it won't fray after that, because we don't want it to fray in the winter time. So we're going to start with the box pointing away. We put it through. Now, one way to do this is you can have somebody on the other side of the fence to help with this part, because this is a little tricky to do. I haven't had much practice because I haven't put the zip ties on. So you see the box goes through, the fence is in the middle. So what we're doing is we're tying it to itself, like that, and then that's tight, and that won't come undone for several years hopefully, and it'll look beautiful. So you can smoosh that out, and then you can just clip off the end so it looks tidy. And you're going to do this after you've made sure that all of the lines line up. So after you have the whole thing installed, you want to make sure that all your lines line up, and you can tweak it a little bit. So some places maybe it's not as tight as others, maybe some places you have to stretch it a little bit more. so that all the lines in the end look nice and clean and tidy. And the reason why I can't show this to you all at once is that my fence isn't big enough to have, because it's not as big as your fence. Another thing I wanted to show you was how I came up with that image. Now, right now, I feel really silly because one of the main images that I used, I can't find. I think it's fallen in behind something. As you can see right now, I'm right in the middle of moving, and we're packing up everything we own, and we're going to be moving to a beautiful cottage. But what I wanted to show you is, like, I took the brown for the wall from some people's drawings. I took inspiration from the tables. A lot of people showed me pictures of a book that has a star on the front, so I figured maybe you were doing something, reading a book with a star, so that's why the boy or the girl is holding a star. This was sort of my main inspiration for the desk. Then again, here's another person holding a book. And then this person here is having a think. Oh my goodness, there goes my dog again. And this person was thinking about the math, so I used the math symbols that person had suggested. So you see how I created a composite with everybody's drawings together. So that's the first one that I've done, and I'm going to make a couple more. This took me so much longer than I thought it was going to. Hopefully I can get it done before I finish moving. Good morning, everybody. So it is May 17th, I think, today. We've been here a week. I've been working every day from my dad's cottage. This is his basement. You can see where some of our boxes are over there. And look, I've managed to make another image. Now this one is of flowers. And the reason I put on the lines was because we're doing pixel art, I felt like it just needed a little bit of help explaining the shape of the flowers, because without the lines, it looked a little hard to understand. So there we go, guys. That's this image done. I'm pretty happy with the way the flowers look, and I'm going to show you where I got the inspiration. So there's the rainbow flower that I used as inspiration, and there's all these other beautiful flowers and the rainbows and the wind blowing. Some of these two on the top here, and these two were from the grade 2 class. And there's more rainbow flowers. And we were talking about the environment, and we were talking about nature. And there's some more flowers. The idea of rainbows. I love the pixelated art here. Thank you very much. So the idea of rainbows and flowers together. So these are the pictures that I used as inspiration for that. And I love this rainbow umbrella that's covering everybody, that everybody's the same under the rainbow umbrella. Very, very beautiful work. Thank you, guys. Really great inspiration for our rainbow flowers. And here's a photograph that Madame Beaulieu took of your school, which I printed out. And this is the fences that I was thinking about. And I'm going to send another one that's going to have sports equipment on it, because you can see over here, I'm just starting getting that one organized. There's lots of people that showed me pictures of playing really fun games on the playground.
4 to 6 days later.
Now here are some of the images that inspired me. Samuel, that's a beautiful picture of a fella playing soccer. This little guy looks like he's playing football. Zach, props. This is a beautiful drawing. I see a couple of places. There's a basketball. Some really beautiful artwork here. Keep up the great work, Zach. Now, Jaden, you're going to see major association to the picture of the soccer ball. It even has the Nike swoosh on it. And here's another soccer ball. I think you guys were really into soccer when you drew this, but I also know that Portneuf School also really loves basketball. And Liam, I love this artistic version of the ball. So you guys can now see there's Liam's ball and Jaden's ball and a basketball. And then, oh, there's one other one. And we have Lucas B's baseball. Looks like some ladies playing some soccer. And these are beautiful drawings. I also have these two, which are people playing, looks like soccer. Or some kind of, yeah, this looks like soccer. Beautiful artwork and all the kids in their classroom. So that's the inspiration for the sports panel. Hey guys, alright, so we had to change location because my family was coming up to the lake for the weekend. And so they've taken over my workspace, so now I'm at my trailer where I'm living for the next 6 months while we build our house. And this is almost ready to ship, so you see number 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've been thinking about how to best put this together and be able to send it to you with instructions. So I'd started to take it apart, and then I loosely have threaded it back through. So you see I haven't really lined everything up. But what I have done is I've labeled one of the straps, which happens to be number 8, as the approximate center. It's not really the center, like if you measured it, but visually it's sort of the center of the picture, so it feels balanced there. So my advice to you would be to find where you want the center to start, and start with that particular strap, strap 8. Then you could work backwards, and you could go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 towards the outside, and build forwards 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. towards the other side. And then you can just shift slightly. And actually, like, these move quite easily. Like if you pull them, you can just shimmy them along up and down so that you can get them all lined up. And visually, especially this one with all the sports equipment, it's pretty easy to see where they're not lined up properly. So you just shimmy it into place, and then you would put on your zip ties, and you'll be able to get it up and installed in hardly any time at all. And then you can take pictures and send them to me, and I can't wait to see them. Thanks. Good afternoon. Okay, so today we are up in the new house because it's super duper windy and it was blowing everything around and it looked like it was going to rain, so we moved everything inside of our partially built log home.
4 to 6 days later.
So this is my 4th panel that I'm making. This will finish the Portneuf School ACE project that we've been working on since last year but got cancelled for COVID. Good morning, Portneuf School. All right. I don't know if you're actually seeing this in the morning or the afternoon. I've just realized that. So I've finished the last picture, and I'll insert a picture of it here. And you can see it's a person, 3 people actually, standing outside a school bus. And there were some beautiful people artwork that your school sent me. And I really wanted to show the friendship and the different kids that come to Portneuf School in all different shapes and sizes. So Chloe's drawing was obviously one of the main inspirations. Unfortunately, you can see that it got wet and all the beautiful colors ran. But originally, um, that her drawing and the colorful headband that the little girl was wearing was a big part of my inspiration. And I really loved this guy's outfit. And I didn't have the right kind of camo, so I just decided to make him like an army green guy. But you can see him there with the poppies, I guess. He's a kind of a Remembrance Day guy, I'm guessing. There's these ladies. I took the inspiration for the colors of the girl that she was wearing from those. And these fun folks over here with the big smiles on their faces. I had to put a face on this guy, so I borrowed some other people's faces. And then here's my main inspiration for the school bus. The big gray tires. You can see those on our school bus that I have as well. Here's this little guy, Mason's guy. He's in that drawing as well. And the sun. There was a couple of people that suggested big sunshines. So I put in a big sunshine in the corner there. And then this little guy, he's kind of a combination with that guy. And then there was also these really neat people. So I put all of those folks together into the last picture that I sent to you, which is the school bus and the kids standing outside the school bus. So Portneuf, I hope that you have fun installing these, and I can't wait to see them. I'll show you. I'm doing a beach one for another school. This school is I think it's in Joliet, and I'll be taping it and as I've done with yours, taping it to a big piece of paper so that you can see what it's going to look like when it's all rolled out.